Welcome everyone to Module 1, class number 3 for Whale and Dolphin Energy Medicine School. This is February 13th, 2022. And we're excited to be here. And I'm just going to open up to see if anybody has something profound they would like to ask or to share. Jay.
I have a couple questions. One question, which you had went over last time, I think it's on PowerPoint 1, slide 9, where you say the whales have to give permission. Have you ever, like where they check if you're pure of heart, have you ever had the whales like not give permission? And if yes, what did you do in that situation?
You've got it backwards. It's the person asking permission. They're asking permission to work with the whales, basically. That the whales ask you in your higher self always first, and then they want the personality of you to align with your higher self to give permission for the healing. They can't touch you without your permission.
Okay, I had that backwards. And then I had one more question, which I don't know if this is possible because the person like has to give permission, but can you use whale healing on animals?
The animal gives permission, yes, and I do it fairly often. Almost always when there's a sick animal or they've been in an accident or something and they're asking for help, I ask them, did you know that I work with whales? And most of the time they say no, and then I explain it to them and they say, yes, I would like that. Ask my mom to play whale sounds, and then more often than not, if we set it up, then I give it to the human and the animal together.
Okay, great, thank you.
Unless it's a farm animal, then I usually have them go out to where the horse is or the cow, and we do it there outside.
So do you do the whole PowerPoint presentation and the meditation all the same way? No.
Not if it's like a farm animal or an animal that's not domestic. See, the domestic animals will take on so much of our stuff because they live with us. Farm animals sometimes will, horses sometimes will too, but not as regularly as dogs and cats and domestic birds do. Okay. Is that helpful?
Yeah, so then for a non-domestic animal, you just more or less like play the whale sounds for them?
Yeah, well, you have to ask their higher self if they want it, or else, same thing, they can't do much. However, animals do have a different relationship. I mean, you have to trust that if there's that inclination to help the animal and they're more, out in the wild, then you have to trust what you're getting because they're not necessarily going to be able to speak to you in the same way a domestic animal would, right? Because their contracts are different.
Okay.
Like most of the wild animals, for example, here's an example. I had a good friend of mine. She's an animal acupuncturist, I think. Hey, my kitty is playing with the Andars. Hold on.
Lucas likes Andoras, huh?
He does. He's on the tray. Okay. I finally gave him his own, and he bats it around on the floor. The little one. He likes him, so you like him so much, huh? Okay, I'm so sorry. I forgot the question. Okay. The wild
animals.
Yeah. They very
Your
often.
Your friend was an acupuncturist.
Oh yeah, with the owl. Yeah. There was an owl near her house that had broken its wing, and so she wrapped it in a towel and took it in. And she called me and I said, well, let's ask the owl if the owl wants our help, And the owl said yes. And the owl healed very quickly. Only like 3 days it healed, and then it could fly. So I think the whales really helped it,
Okay, great. Thank you.
So she set it free. Yeah, sure. Yeah, whales are for everyone.
Okay.
Anybody else? A depressing question?
Yeah, on the same topic. If I want to do it with my dog, because she has some health issues. So I go through the PowerPoint and I say things as I'm doing it, saying it for her.
No, not really. I mean, if your dog gives you permission to do it, I'm kind of getting tapped on the shoulder here. Yeah, I would ask the dog, do you want me to do the permission statements with you? Because the dog might want that. I'm kind of getting the dog does want that. Okay. Now, they don't necessarily need that. But where humans, I kind of like to use the word would need to give the levels. In the PowerPoint, those words were given to me by the whale. This is not Lori. It's the whale. And the whale wants different levels of permission to be given. And if you go back and you watch the replay from the first class, you will see me saying to you as the client that we must have your permission in order to proceed. And then there are layers to the levels of permission, right? That person's giving permission to work on the physical body, basically. But the whales go on in the PowerPoint to talk about, we work with you, your personal contracts, your family contracts, your planetary, different places and different planets you've lived on, even galactic and cosmic contracts that you'll have no connection to, but they will. And that's when Puda made the little joke where she says, she loves to tell this joke. She says, okay, so one day in the future, you're walking down the street, after you've left the Earth has ascended, it's all complete here. And let's say you're in a little town on Jupiter and you meet an old friend and the old friend says, thanks for clearing that contract on February 13th, 2022 back on Earth. That was really great. So, I mean, you can laugh, but I mean, that gives you the sense of what they're capable of as cosmic beings. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I have sorry, a technical question. I'm wondering if anyone's having issues when they play during the activation, after the meditation, and we walk them through the process of their chakras and diving with the whales. And then I have music playing, and it seems like there's interference or.
Okay, was Zoom when you first hit the button that says share screen?
Yeah, I do that. And you click the
There's two little boxes you have to click at the bottom left-hand corner.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so then you still have interference?
I'm being told, yeah. And I also experience it like the person that gave me healing, whenever she had the music on and was talking, it would break up occasionally. So I just didn't know if anyone else had issues with that.
So are we talking about breaking up the live stream, or are we talking about the music being not functional, or
both?
For me, it was mainly the music. Our communication was okay, but when the person played the music and when I played the music to the person, it waffles. It goes in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it on the recording, it sounds fine. And we, like she said, we both hit the buttons to share the sound. So I made sure I was sharing the sound. So
does it happen every time or just that one time?
no, every time.
Okay.
All 4 sessions that I had.
So do you guys have any experiences like that during our class? No.
I think
okay.
when you hear me now, I'm not waffling, right? But it's mainly just playing the music.
I think I would go to their technical team. It'd be worth a phone call to get a technical person on the line with you to practice or try to troubleshoot with you. Okay.
Like,
So
just a friend, like our technical team.
No, Zoom has a great technical team.
Oh, Zoom. Okay.
Yeah. Go to one of those guys because they'll be able to figure it out in a heartbeat. Okay.
Okay.
I
have one other question.
I have found, I don't know if this is going to help, but when someone is on Zoom on their phone, their cell phone instead of on the computer, that affects the sound as well. If you have both on, so I don't know if that's going to help.
Oh, there you go. Okay, now I'm remembering when I first had Zoom. And this is when we had people come in the physical before the pandemic, right? And I had a room full of people, also people online. And when we had more than one computer on, the sound went wacko. Yeah, and now of course it's just me with one computer. So that might be it. You might want to turn off your cell phone or turn off your computer if you're on your cell phone,
Yeah, I only had one on. It's my computer.
I don't know. Or maybe in the other persons that you're talking to, maybe they have 2 on.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't really know though. I wish I did.
So I've used, can I break in just a second here? Sorry.
Yeah, sure.
I've been playing whale music from YouTube on my cell phone next to my computer microphone, and I think that's worked okay in terms of not breaking up the sound. But I was wondering if there's some protocol on the sound that it takes the voice over the music, that it can tell the difference, and so it emphasizes the voice. So but that's the Zoom team might know the answer to that.
Zoom team question. In my experience, playing external sound while you're on Zoom doesn't work. It doesn't work. I would want to share the screen and put the YouTube up on the screen of your computer. I do that all the time. So Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, but our
So
music, we purchased it from your CD, so is it
Yeah, well,
available on
but put it on
YouTube?
your computer. Put the music on your computer so
On
you
my-
share the
oh, yeah.
screen and play it from there. That's what
Okay.
I do, and it'll be fine. Also, video will be fine, but to play, okay, so when I have a private session with you, most of you, I would have it on the phone, and we're not using a computer. Okay, I mean, except for the PowerPoint, but I'm sending you the PowerPoint, so you're doing the PowerPoint on your computer, right? But for Zoom, yeah, there's these little issues. I think you want to do all your sound through screen sharing.
And that might be it right there.
Well, it
Screen
works. I mean, I
share
would just,
while you have your music up. That might
yeah,
be
that's
it.
how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was doing, yeah.
You would, oh, okay, Heidi.
Yeah, good to work this stuff out. And as you learn, I learn. So like you're just making me remember when I first was, dealing with some of this stuff. So now I just figured out the screen share and I love it. So it seems to be, Johnny on the spot every time. So good. Anybody else? I know
Yeah,
Lois, are you here? You had a whole lot of questions and I'm happy to go over them. But I'm going to do it after we open the sacred space. I just thought because we were on a little bit early, I opened up to questions. So,
yeah, I have one more.
okay.
There was a person or two that I was sharing this whale dolphin energy light medicine class with, and they
Uh-huh.
looked at me like really like, are you crazy? Like whales and dolphins can heal.
Of course,
So do you have any like recommendation to like make this be credible when you first start talking about it?
Sure. Yeah. Two things. Number one is every person on the planet and every animal is coded to connect to the whales because they are the elders. When I say they're the elders, I'm not joking around. They really are. They were here first. They walked upright. Remember, before they moved into the oceans, millions and millions of years of experience. Science can't even touch where they first came in. I mean, I think they say so many million years, but I know they don't say 300 million years. The whales tell me 300. Drunvalo said 500 million years. So who knows? I mean, their experience and their limitless abilities that Creator has given them make them the elders on the planet. So I always say to people, when you're going to go to the doctor, don't you want to go to the doctor with the most experience? They usually say yes. Okay. The second thing I say to them is science has proven, with thanks to Dr. Emoto, that when you listen to whale sounds, your blood chemistry starts to change in 30 seconds. You know what happens to the blood crystals in your body? They start to turn into double star tetrahedrons. And if you don't know what that is, you can show them a picture. And I said, this is creating the living light body. And that's what the whales are here to help us do, which is our ascension process. I said to them, do you think that you'll always be on Earth? Do you think you have always been on Earth? What is your long-term plan? Are you leaving the Earth? I am. I'm going home eventually, Well, the only way I'm going to go home is if I create my light body, right? Without being into the reincarnation. I mean, the only way you're going to move out of the reincarnational cycle, which you've been on for, if you've been here many lifetimes, you've signed up for that. You can't basically escape. I don't want to say you're trapped, but you're committed. Let's put it that way. And you're going to keep reincarnating until this experience is over. And we're released from these contracts because the earth will then ascend. So you don't have to tell them that. Okay, that's too much, but you get the idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
On that
So
same line,
talk to them about being the whales being the elders, and then bring up Dr. Emoto's work where the blood chemistry actually changes in the and you can say to them, there's lots of science out there about sound healing. Well, the whales just happen to have, I don't know, the top spot for sound healing. And it's been proven. Okay, sorry, enough said.
Lori, do you believe that maybe some people like aren't at the vibration and frequency to be ready to receive the message?
Oh yeah, sure. There are a lot of people that this is why we're so when someone makes an appointment with you, I tell them those two things. I tell them, you were going to be working with the elders. However, an awful lot of people that contact me are already connecting to the whales. They're already dreaming about them. They've gone and seen them on a boat. They're looking at pictures of whales. They're already connecting. Some people aren't. They're just curious. And they're curious about the accelerated healing that because of all of the testimonials. So those are the people you want to make sure you understand. If you come and do this session with me, the whales will ask you many levels of permission before they're able to work with you because they work with your soul. Your soul is the eternal, immortal self. Some people call it the I am presence. Some people call it your higher self. That part of you that is always has been, always will be, will determine what the whales can do on your body. So it's very important that you connect to your soul if you want to understand at any level what the whales are going to do. They're not going to listen to you and your physical body as much as they listen to the soul. In other words, let's say you have a broken bone, and whatever reason you set up to a contract to break your bone, so you'd have that experience. You'd have probably healing. Who knows what all the benefits would come from having a broken bone? And you want to heal it, and the whale comes in, and your higher self says, "No, we can't work on that leg right now." And you won't be able to understand that, but that happens where you're not ready to heal it yet at the soul level. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So this is why it's important for them to understand the permission levels, and that the alignment that they have with their own spirit is what's going to make a difference.
Yeah, this was just a person who's a friend who wasn't coming to me for healing. I was just sharing what was going on in my life. And she kept going, well, where do you get the whales from? And it just made me laugh. She didn't understand that they were etheric and it was the energy and not that I was physically going out to the ocean and getting whales to work with.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if you go on a boat and you get up next to humpback whales or you get in the water with them, you probably won't be able to walk when you get back on the boat. I was on a boat once, a sailboat in Maui, and it was just friends, you know. I mean, it wasn't like a retreat or anything. I mean, I was there because I did a retreat, but I was also living there for about 3 months. And I went out, and a humpback whale came under the boat. It was a big mother whale, and she made her sounds, you know. And then she came over to the side and blew, and we all got wet from her blowhole. Then she went back under the boat. Well, we realized later, as she was trying to get away from these males that were chasing her, she hadn't decided yet who she was going to mate with. But when she was under the boat, literally, I watched 12 people fall on their faces. I was already sitting down, but they literally fell down. Their legs just went wobbly, and they were crawling, trying to get their flippers on so they could get in the water. It was like, and then when we got back on the boat at the end of the day, people could hardly walk to their car. It just incredible energy. And I don't want to mean they're damaging you or hurting you, but they overwhelmed us with their energy by being that close to them. So the people that I knew on that boat, we had to go home and sleep for a whole day before we could even talk. It was like, but then we felt better. We felt incredible afterwards, you know.
Yeah.
So the physical presence of a whale will blow you over, you know.
Yeah, but this person, it didn't matter which way I tried to explain to her, she just didn't get it and couldn't get it. So I just felt like she wasn't ready for the message.
Yeah, everybody's not ready.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure and you don't necessarily trust yet your ability to talk to them, you could muscle test. You could use a pendulum and see. You know, that's the best way.
Okay.
I mean, you can't harm them. Let's put it that way. You can't harm them, but you can leave them feeling, I don't know how to explain it, drained, I guess, from the energy that the whales would bring to them. Like, how do you feel after a whole day of whale school? Don't you want to take a nap or go to
I
bed?
did after the last one, yeah.
You need to explain that to them. They're probably going to have to rest afterwards.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys ready to start?
Can I have one more question, Laurie?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Is the crystalline body crystalline?
Yeah.
Can you more explain it to me? I have been looking.
The crystalline body is the light body. So what's happening when you work with whales, well, even if you don't work with whales, is our bodies are turning into crystalline energy, which is light. We originally came from light. Before you ever had a physical dense form, you were in a light body. We call that the Merkaba. Okay, so the whales are here to help the whole planet prepare for the dematerialization of the water molecule. The carbon-based molecule is dematerializing, the magnetic grids are dematerializing, and the crystalline grid is now complete. Okay, and we are turning into crystalline energy. And the intention in working with the whales and dolphins is to accelerate that so that you become, what is light? You say we're creating light body. What is light? Light is wisdom. Light is divine energy. It's exactly what you want.
See, I did a training in light body from, Sanaya Roman. She's channeling through guides, and she's like opening up the light body system. Do you know about it?
I've heard of her, but no, not really, not in detail.
Okay, I was wondering what's really the difference between, what you're talking about light body and the training I did from the States.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry. But if people, you feel they're authentic, you feel that they're real in their capabilities, and they say they're working with the light body, that's good. It's very good.
So that's like the same system, maybe. It's like,
Well, I wouldn't say that. I don't know that.
no. But they
But after
say,
you complete these courses and then you've completed her course, you'll have a comparison.
yes, of course. Yeah, you're right. Yes. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we're not the only people working on light body, but
It's true.
it also wasn't up to me to have Master Buddha tell me to go to Kauai to meet the white whales either. You think I'd have got that on my own? I don't think so. I don't really think I would have got that on my own. Neither would have Judith or Grandma Chandra or Jennifer McLean. We all got that from Buddha. And to this day, all of those people that were in that circle in 2011, they all still say they get messages from Buddha. So it's not just me, you know. I mean, she lives with me, but she's out there giving messages. She's a little
Okay.
prophet.
Okay, thank you.
Sure,
Lori,
sure.
Lori,
Yeah,
I do have a question about, you showed me one time a picture of a white whale, Migaloo.
Yes.
Is Migaloo also one of the white whales of the Council of the 13 White Ones, or
Yes. Yes.
who is?
Migaloo, to me, this is to me, okay, everyone doesn't agree with me, carries a little bit of the mother white whale's energy. Even though it's a male body, I feel Watakiti there. And Migaloo was the first whale to appear on the planet that's white.
Okay, because we got lots of names like Moby and Tristal and Goran, but Migaloo should be then Waitakiti?
Well, this is my opinion. After you worked with that whale for a while, I'll talk to you again and we'll see if you agree.
Okay.
Okay. I can't actually prove that. So other times the mother whale tells me she can't come to our planet because she's too big. So maybe it's just a tiny aspect of Watakiti, but I think it's very cool that Migaloo is the first whale and is really friendly, you know, I mean, really great to come to the boats in Australia. So many people enjoy meeting Migaloo, you know. I'd
And
like
are
to
there
someday.
are there more than 13 or 12 of the white whales now, or is
Don't you
it?
have the PowerPoint?
Yes, I do have the PowerPoint.
Okay,
The
well, their
13.
pictures are in there. And it took us 8 years to get all their pictures.
Yeah, I do have it, and I have the list of course, the Lakota and cosmic names. But are there any more than those 13 white?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
No. And only a year and a half ago, the last one appeared.
Okay.
So as far as for Puda to answer your question, she said the prophecy was there would be 12, and there are 12.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, Zia?
Yeah, I have a question. So I'm working with my family and friends, and sometimes I work with them again and again. So once they give me permission, do I have to get permission each time, or once is okay?
Absolutely. Each time, yes. And you're
Each time.
only allowed to work with them with the whale healing and clearing, not the light body activations.
Yes.
We're not giving permission for that yet because they don't think you're ready after only 2 classes. Okay, so please don't try to give anyone a light body activation except yourself. Right,
Okay.
you should be working on yourself with those.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they feel so good that they come back.
Yeah, well, then tell them, you know, it won't be that long before you'll be able to give them more sessions and help them with their vibration. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
sure. Sandra, do you have your hand up?
Lori, I have a quick question when,
Okay, Sandra has her hand up. I'm just asking if she's there.
I'm here, but I don't have my hand up.
Okay, okay, then the computer is lying. Okay, someone else. Who was it?
Janelle.
Janelle. Hi, Janelle.
Hi. So the next module, Lori, is there a list that we can automatically be placed on for the next module, or do we have to wait till you open that up?
Do that now, okay? Because it doesn't require sacred space. Yeah, let me go to my notes here. Yeah, I want your opinion. I always do this every year that I've had the class. Is I would like to see. I wasn't prepared, but it's here. I'd like to start module 2 on April 10th. And if you go to your calendar real quick, you'll see the last day of module 1 is the 13th of March. And then you will have 2 weeks from that day to turn in your final paperwork, just like you've been having. So
Okay.
that's your final assignment for module 1. And then you'll be eligible to continue in module 2 for certification. You absolutely can take module 2 also if you're just taking it for personal growth. You don't need permission. You just sign up for it and just, come to class for your own personal growth. And it's incredible working with the Dolphins. They're the best, in my opinion, emotional coaches on the planet. I mean, once people work with Dolphins as a coach, they're never going to need a human because the Dolphins can see all of your DNA. So anyway, so then there would be a break. Let's see, there would be 1, 2, the final paperwork then would be turned in March 25th for module 1. And then you would have the week of March 27th, the week of April 3rd, and that would be like a little 2-week break. And you could do a lot of practicing during that time and make sure you kind of go back and watch the replays, get more comfortable with everything. Lots more user-friendly with the white whales and your personal relationship with them. We're going to work on that today. So with everybody's permission, I'd like to start April 10th, and I'll just give you the dates now. If everyone agrees, April 10th, April 24th, May 8th, and May 22nd, and June 5th. And then you would have, again, 2 weeks to complete the final paperwork, and probably 3rd or 4th week in June, we'll go right into internship. We won't take a break. We'll go right into internship. And internship is when you're preparing now to be a professional certified practitioner, and you're going to work on 12 people you've never met before, minimum 12. Okay. And then you're going to record everything. You have your business set up. You have like a practice website maybe by then, and you're going to be working with strangers, but explaining to them that you're in internship. It's kind of like, let's see, well, I went into internship when I was in veterinary school, and I had to work 3 months for free doing a 40-hour week, basically, before I could take the state board exam and get certified. So it's a little bit like that. Internship we're emulating the medical schools without being a medical school, of course, and seeking ultimately certification for credit, at least in California. That's what we plan to do. But I'm not sure when that will happen, maybe by next year. So anyway, back to my question. If you can put your cameras on or just say, that's not good. How many people agree to start module 2 on April 10th?
Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
If I was unable to do it at that time, would I be able to do it next year? Just continue with module 2 next year, for example?
No, because you will have forgotten a lot. You'll have to take module 1 again too. But the good news is if you come back, you can come back for half price. But you would have to complete the whole thing in order. It's just they're too tied together. I mean, it's not realistic that a year and a half will go by and you would remember how to do all of the stuff that you're learning now, and then combine it with the Dolphins, because ultimately after about, I'm going to say 3 or 4 sessions, you start combining them. You start out with Dolphin work, and then you go into life body work.
Would it be the same if I didn't want to become certified, if I was just doing it for my own development?
That's a good question. I don't really know the answer to that. I don't think, still, again, that you'd be very effective. What would be your goal then? Would it be to facilitate it for just yourself, or?
Yeah.
Yeah. Get back with me on that, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. I'll take it in my meditation to the whales and see what they think. Okay?
One final question, Lori. The April 10th through June 5th for module 2, that would be the only module 2 that you're going to have this year. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And again, they really need to go together, for certification, obviously, to practice. Okay, Jay.
I have a question about the internship. If you already have an existing website, can you add that as a page to your website?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Sorry,
And one question about what you just said, for internship, the 12 new people that we haven't met before. So if I already work with people in energy stuff, so I cannot give them a session, I would need to get completely new people.
Talking about professional clients that you already have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that'd be okay because they're new to this work.
Okay, perfect. Thank
yeah.
you.
Is there any amount of time to get the internship completed?
Yeah, well, the last 2 years, we did it in 4 months. We had a final date where all the recordings have to be sent to us. We review them. You also have to turn in your paperwork, but everything's recorded now. And then we have a graduation certificate and kind of a party, And then we ended up having a support, I think, like a month later, we had a support class where people could come in and say how it's going and, show off their websites and all that. It was kind of fun. So there's a lot to look forward to. You end up becoming a family. And then, of course, ultimately, you'll end up meeting some of the other graduates from previous years. We're a big pod and we're growing. And last year we were in 13 countries. So I'm not sure this year. We're in quite a few countries this year. But Germany, Spain, the Netherlands, Australia, Canada, Mexico. We have quite a few countries this year too. Okay.
And we're responsible for finding the 12 people to practice on?
Yeah, you have to find them. Suggestions are church, meetup groups, other groups that you're a part of. Some people, go bowling or, whatever it is they do. They play bridge. I've had several, though, clients be really bold, like go in with the flyer that they made to where they get their nails done. Another lady was at the supermarket and she's a friend of mine. So she was like, had a crisis that we really didn't think she was going to graduate because she didn't really think she was going to have time to complete the intern sessions because a really good friend of hers was dying and she was her caretaker. Anyway, she ended up doing it. She got the flyers made. Even in the grocery store where she was checking out, she was handing out, hey, I just graduated from Whale and Dolphin Energy Medicine School. What that means is we work to heal you using dolphin and whale energy. So I'm doing free sessions for the next 2 weeks. Here's my phone number. Here's my, would you like to make an appointment? It's absolutely free. She got people that way, So you can start looking now and tell people that, let's see. Say in the fall, you can contact them. You start getting a list of people and ask them if they'd like to set up a free session with you because you'll be a graduate by then and you'll be in your internship.
I have a question.
Okay.
Can I do it with my patients?
Yes. Yeah. Because they're not friends and family. Basically, what we're saying is we're not going to be doing friends and family. We're going to be doing outside people that, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. And I think for you, because you're a doctor, it's like, you're a doctor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Then it's your intention to do this from the beginning, to add it to your practice kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Good questions, guys. Okay.
I'm sorry. We cannot start doing them in advance, right?
No, not until you graduate.
Okay.
You have to complete module 1, module 2, and to the specifications. And then when we start the internship, everybody will have graduated.
Okay. Perfect.
Into the internship.
Okay.
And then at the end of the internship, you're seeking certification so that you can legally do this professionally and collect money for it.
Okay. Perfect.
That's the difference.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then so far, just so you know, all the years so far, the interns agreed to charge a certain amount of money as a collective in the last internship or maybe the second to last internship class. They voted on what to charge so that it wouldn't, we don't want one person way up here and one person down here. We want everybody to feel equal because we want to support each other. We're teaching the pod mind, which is the good of the many, not the good of the one. So, you know what I mean? We're not competing in any way. We're supporting each other completely. Does that make sense? Okay. And then onwards towards your career, as you end up doing this as a career, you want to be able, you get calls from people, and you'll see me doing it already. And you can't do the work like we haven't always had the right amount of partners. I call on the graduates, and they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. I'm not paying them. You're not paying them. They're just coming in and volunteering to help partner and help you guys move along. And, they add a lot to the mix, I think. At some point, we may have, in module 2, a couple of speakers come in of graduates and tell you about their business and what they're doing. You can ask them questions because we want to add to the overall experience that we're giving you.
Sorry, one more question. I'm sorry. And so the CDs are available for everyone to buy, right? Like public.
Yeah, people can go to our website and buy the music, sure.
Okay, so what would the difference be if they get like the CDs and do the meditations on their own instead of doing a whale session? The difference would be that we are guiding them through the PowerPoint and giving them the message from the whales. But is there a
You're
difference?
summoning the whale. Do you think you're summoning the whale to come to them in their living light body and descend around their house and work with them in these different levels? And they've given their intention for what they want. You don't think there's a difference between that and listening to a CD cut?
No, I do. But
Okay.
my question is more about, is there a difference between the healing they would get from listening to the meditation? Or because what I would think is that the whales would come. They would come if
Well,
they're listening.
I would like to think that, yeah. But the truth is I have not had any way to track that.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people buy our CDs and I'm sure they enjoy them, but how much healing is going on? What template are the whales working on? Do they know? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, really.
Okay.
I do know that people heal just listen. Oh, Lucas. Hold on here.
Don't worry.
He just turned off my video.
Yeah.
Turned off my camera too. Little spunky. There you go. You look really guilty over there in the corner. He runs. He knows he's not supposed to step on the computer, so he runs across it before I can grab him. Okay. That's part of being a kitty. Yeah. Okay. So was there a question, another question?
No, that was it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, I have no idea of knowing. I mean, I really like to think all the stuff I record and that people buy helps them, but I don't know how much. Okay. All right. So we are going to open the space. And this morning, earlier, the archangels came in and they want you to know how much they appreciate being called in as well, because they work with the whales. This is what they said. We serve the whales as like we serve you. So I didn't know that. I mean, I did, but not really in the way they just said it. So it's like, it's really important for you to know at some level, the 7 main archangels, I guess, that work with humanity. Okay. So okay, let's close our eyes and move into our heart space. Mother, Father, God, we are so grateful for you today. We open to the flowing love of source energies that comes to us from the sun, and it comes to us from Mother Gaia. We open to receive the unity breath as we breathe the energy from the earth and the sun directly into our heart space. As we take deep breaths, we acknowledge ourselves as eternal, immortal beings that have chosen to come to Earth, to be a part of this wonderful program the whales have provided for us. We are so grateful. We ask that you support us today in our class and beyond, in the session work, the practices, and of course, in our own healing. So today, we'd like to open the directions, calling in the archangels. So to the south, we summon the great Archangel Uriel. It's one of the great masters of compassion and forgiveness. And to the west, we ask for Archangel Gabriel to hold his column of light and to assist us with multi-levels of communication, both verbal and nonverbal. And the west is open. To the north, we summon the great Archangel Michael, as he comes to us today to assist each and every one of us with our divine life purpose. Thank you, Michael. The north is open. And to the east, we summon the great Archangel Raphael, God's healing angel. And let's take a deep breath as we receive that healing light. If you're seeing through the pineal gland, it will look green. Now we see all 4 columns of light in these great archangels creating a 4-sided pyramid over our home and property, energized with this powerful archangelic energy. And now we take that 4-sided pyramid and invert it and make a copy of it down into the earth. So we say, as above, so below. And now let's drop down to the apex of the pyramid that is inverted into the earth. And that apex now we'll call center below. And we call in Archangel Shamuel. Now rising up to the apex above our home, we call in Archangel Jophiel, master of peace and tranquility. Now we come into our own sacred heart space. We call for Archangel Zadkiel, such a master teacher, wisdom teacher, and supporter of the violet flame. Now let's call in our 3 master guides and triangulate with them. Let's welcome the Council of the Great White Whales, Bella and Humphrey. Most importantly, your higher self. Oh, and let's welcome Master Katputa, who's certainly one of the creators of this program. And our sacred space is open. Take a deep breath. Feel refreshed. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right. Our sacred space is open. You're in the presence of these beautiful archangels and the whales. Let's go to our manuals.
So I'd just like to do a quick testify. I've purchased Lori's packages through summits over the years, and I've done just the whale healing, for example, throughout the years. And until I was in this mastery program and opening the sacred space for this intention, the intention of this program, it just expanded so much more in my consciousness, and I just feel so much more in my body than just having listened to the whale meditation. So I can testify to that.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate that. There's, some input for you on your question, Veronica.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Could I add to that too, Lori?
Absolutely. Please do.
Well, the consciousness of the whales sort of came to me cosmically, and I Googled Lori, like I said before, and I got her CDs, and I'm going to tell you, I'd never experienced anything like that. I did the CDs daily, and they got me to go to Moorea, and I've never even swam in the ocean like that before. So they move you.
They do. I have to laugh because they'll get you where they want you to go, won't they? Yeah, very good. Thank you for that testimonial. Moorea is one of the places in the world that it's illegal to swim with the humpback whales. Most places it's illegal, which, humanity's got a ways to go. If a whale doesn't want to be with you, to swim with you, they're not going to be with you. I don't know why people can't figure that out. Same with the dolphin. If the dolphins want to be there, they're not going to be there. They can swim very fast, or they can dive down deeper than we can dive. So anyway, Moorea, we did a retreat there now. It's been 2 years now. And we had intention, of course, to go back last September to Moorea. It's an incredibly beautiful island. It's a remnant of Lemuria off the coast of Tahiti. So our long-term plan now is to go in the fall of 2023 back to Moorea. I had to pause for a minute because I spent a couple hours yesterday putting our hopefully Bimini retreat together to go swim with the dolphins in September now of this year. So you'll be getting an email about that, and I can take, I think, 16 people. And some of you've already, like Jay has already put a deposit about it. So two things I always say, normally everything that we do in the retreat realm is non-refundable because the money goes to the boats, right? And the captain's not going to give your money back. Sorry. They just aren't going to do that because you booked their boat. But with the pandemic, we have an agreement now that if, and I have really good friends with the captain in Bimini, if for any reason it swells up again and, travel is shut down and it's too challenging to go, we would refund your money. So this particular captain is working with me on that. So he's very, obviously he's not going to keep people's money that can't even get to the island. So, but our intention is to go in September, and it should be up on our website. The new dates start September 4th. Yeah, September 4th. It's 6 days and 5 nights, 5 dolphin swims where we go out on the boat. We spend several hours with the dolphins. So it's really cool. So just to put that out there, you guys want to go, really, really hoping, seeing it happen, this time. Okay, so on our manuals, we are on page 20 where it says Huna, I think. Let me find it in my manual. Okay. So the whales and dolphins were with us when we lived 26,000 years ago during the time of Lemuria. That civilization is the last time we existed on the earth in a 5D, fifth dimensional vibration of peace. Using the Huna principles of the Lemurian times is one of the best ways to raise your vibration and stay conscious of what you are creating in every moment. So I always teach this in my Hawaiian retreat, but I think you guys should have it too. Huna is the name of the practice of wisdom, healing, and spiritual shamanism of ancient Hawaii. We remember Lemuria in these teachings. So Ike is the world is what you think it is. So in modern times, people like Joe Dispenza are teaching that, that we create our own realities, basically. Abraham as well. So Kala is there are no limits. And of course, this totally aligns with the whale work. The whales tell us they are limitless in their abilities to heal us or to work with us, to advise us. Okay, Makia is energy flows where attention goes. And again, science now has proven that. Back to the movie What the Bleep. I don't know if you guys saw that, but where they had the electron gun and the electrons were shooting towards the screen, and the electrons paid attention to if anybody was watching or standing near the electron gun. So they proved again that energy is alive at the subatomic level. So this is why the whales are so, I don't know, how do I say, persistent to advise us to monitor our thoughts, words, and deeds, to don't just speak, don't just let words come tumbling out. You need to really align your spirit with your words. And of course, your thoughts. It's a constant day-to-day, moment-to-moment process to monitor your thoughts to stay out of negativity, right? Out of judgment. Okay. But we're doing it to stay in the heart. Okay. Manawa. Now is the moment of power, right? So all spiritual teachings, even most religious teachings, will teach you that there is no time in the sense of the linear world that we understand. It's all circular, that everything is happening right now. And the affirmation, this moment is your life, is one of Seth's greatest teachings, I think, is to get us to live in this moment, to be fully present. And I think at one point we listened to the gray whales. The gray whales teach this as well, to not be too diffused in your timeline, not too much in the past, not too much in the future, or really present in the now. Okay, this is the moment of power. Aloha. To love is to be happy with something or someone. So aloha is such a wonderful word. Mana, all power comes from within. And that's a word that, just from someone who lives part-time in Hawaii, that they use in their daily language. They use that. Even in the school, I think, I can remember being with families and the mother would say, where's your mana? You know, like pay attention, you know, if they were acting out to the kids. And then Pono, effectiveness is the measure of truth. So I think we all have to say that, you know, in our lives, if you're experiencing the same difficulty or the same negative thought form or the same disease over and over and over, how many people, you know, in the cycle? Like I've even heard people say, well, you know, every year I get bronchitis. Oh, what an awful affirmation. You've just decided that you're going to get sick every year because your body's listening to your words. So effectiveness is the measure of truth. I mean, we should pay attention to the Pono because we want to be effective, and that means we have to always be changing, not doing the same things over and over again that create difficulty. Okay, and instead of saying, you know, I'm just unlucky, or the universe is mean to me, or, you know, I'm a victim of blank. You know, you don't want to do that anymore. It's just really inappropriate. So Ho'oponopono is the Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness. The Hawaiian word translates into English simply as correction. Traditional Ho'oponopono is practiced by Hawaiian healers and Polynesian families. There are 4 simple steps to this method, and the order is not that important. Repentance, forgiveness, gratitude, and love are the only forces at work, but these forces have amazing power. The best part of Ho'oponopono is you can do it yourself. You don't need anyone else to be there. You don't need anyone to hear you. You can say the words in your head. The power is in the feeling and in the willingness of the universe to forgive and to love. So, you know, we do this with the water blessing, which is, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. But I think we're going to go a little bit deeper today. And we can still, even some of the stories that are documented about people that do Ho'oponopono and how they even did it for someone else or something else, and it was very effective. So who would like to read? Who would like to share? Just raise your hand, or Lori, okay. Would you read step 1, repentance?
Sure. I am sorry implies that you are responsible for everything in your life. This realization can be painful, and you will likely resist accepting responsibility for everything when you begin. Focus on what you can realize, such as being overweight or addicted to food, nicotine, alcohol, or some other substance. Do you have anger issues? Health problems? Start there and say you're sorry. That's the whole step. I'm sorry. Although I think it is more powerful if you say it more clearly. I realize that I am responsible for this issue in my life, and I feel terrible remorse that something in my consciousness has caused this.
Beautiful. It's a really nice description of I'm sorry, you know. And I think in our cultural society, at least here in the United States, I don't know so much about Europe or maybe Canada, but we don't really work on self-forgiveness. We're not even really taught it. I don't know. How about, does everybody agree with me? I wasn't really taught that as a kid. You know, I mean, what if every family could teach their child, you know, if they've been a bully or, you know, they failed the test or something, you know, the football team lost, that they could just do Ho'oponopono and let it go, you know. It would be so much better if we were raised with this.
Teach it in schools.
Yes, teach it in school. Yeah.
I can
So they don't
share that I'm very familiar with Ho'oponopono, and I can share with everyone else that I tried it one time when I was on a walk and I was thinking about, you know, my son, and I just started saying it while I was walking and thinking of him. And when I came home, his attitude, he was very kind. I mean, I was like, I was amazed. I'm like, oh my God, it works.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, it works great.
Okay, well, let's have you continue if you don't mind. Step 2.
Sure. Ask for forgiveness. Please forgive me. Don't worry about who you are asking. Just ask. Please forgive me. Say it is over. Say it over and over. Mean it. Remember your remorse from step 1 as you ask to be forgiven.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Step 3, gratitude. Thank you. Say thank you. Again, it doesn't matter who or what you're thanking. Thank your body for all it does for you. Thank yourself for being the best you can be. Thank God. Thank the universe. Thank whatever it was that just forgave you. Just keep saying thank you.
Nice.
Step 4 is love. I love you. This can also be step 1. Say, I love you. Say it to your body. Say it to God. Say, I love you to the air you breathe, to the house that shelters you. Say, I love you to your challenges. Say it over and over. Mean it. Feel it. There is nothing as powerful as love. And the prayer is, I am sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Nice. And it's incredibly effective with water, as you know. So I don't know if anybody has any great stories, but there's a couple I know of. One is someone, I don't remember how they got involved in it, but they wanted to help the people that were in prison. And so they took at the roster of the people that were in prison and pictures of them and put the picture in front of them, and they chanted, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, over that picture. And in that prison, the rehabilitation rate came way up. I mean, like people were just changed. And it was by someone they'd never met that was praying for them through this prayer. It's incredible. That's documented. There's another story about somebody did something, got so excited about they thought it could be done for to change the energy of the structures that we're in, you know, and think of like, what would the energy of the prison walls be like? It would probably, if you could think of everything as sentient, everything alive, that they would be very sad, right? So this person chanted to the blocks, cement blocks that were going to be built, used to build a wall in the prison. And where that wall went, the people on both sides of the wall in their cells were rehabilitated. They like changed because of the bricks in the wall. I mean, isn't that amazing? Stuff like that. Just wow, you know. Does anybody else know of any other Ho'oponopono stories?
Well, today actually with Super Bowl, right? There's many groups out there that are doing prayer with the intention of everyone that is in their consciousness to the Super Bowl, that we connect our consciousness to them with either a prayer or Ho'oponopono or blessings, and because they're focused on that, it'll open their consciousness even more. So yeah, many miracles have happened through that as well, when a lot gather in a group and we send that intention in their consciousness in that group.
That's beautiful. I just think, you really, I use it all the time for everything, and a lot for myself, because I think that whatever I missed in the earlier years is underlying subconscious stuff, maybe with my dad, maybe with who knows. So I'm always, if I get a flash of something in my mind of a person or a situation where I don't feel good about it, I start the Ho'oponopono prayer. Sometimes I'm driving, sometimes I'm lying in bed, and I just apply it to what that flash was of consciousness, because I think it came up for a reason, for me to heal it. So I invite you to use it. It's very powerful.
We use it on the trucker convoy.
There you go. Yeah.
And the Olympics, actually.
Yeah. So how about someone volunteer to read Atonement? Who would like to read?
I would like to read.
Okay, Jay. Also, I just want to point out the word atonement is at 1 minute. So that kind of says it all, but let's go into this message.
Atonement. I came into the understanding of this word a few years ago. It was during a time we felt huge manipulation by off-world energies for the planet, and the whales were asking humanity just to step up and help. When you break the word down, it means at 1 meant. In other words, we are all one, all responsible for everything that the collective creates. So when we claim our own divine power and use powerful words and affirmations, energy shifts and vibrations rise. The affirmation below was created when the whales reached out to us to create a symbol of our commitment to be of service and offer our atonement for the misdeeds of humanity. I highly suggest you use it in your personal life, as this vibration for me is higher than forgiveness and outside or above duality. The word and the affirmation carry a high vibrational charge that allows you to take responsibility to shift major things on this planet. The rods spoken are orgone and were created by Donna Spratt. In 2015, hundreds of rods were created and thrown into all of the oceans of our planet, dedicated to the whales and their work. The affirmation was co-created by Donna Askew and Donna Spratt. Find out more at thealchemistchamber.com. Did you want me to read what was in the box? I am my I am presence. I am a sovereign being. I surrender my will and my life to the care and service of Creator. I am at one meant with all beings that ever were, are now, and will be. I am with love, compassion, and forgiveness, clearing debris from earth that is created by humanity. I humbly offer this rod of atonement as a symbol of my commitment to do, be, and have Christ consciousness. We are one heart, one mind, one body, one soul, and so it is.
Isn't that beautiful? Totally beautiful. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture of it. Well, my words want to be, to this day, we use the rods in boat trips and retreats that I do, but of course we haven't had any for 2 years. But I can see me on so many boat trips, like if we're going to go out 5 times, like in Bimini, I'll have 5 rods, 1 for each day. And we'll stand on the boat and stop the boat, have a ceremony. And then when we throw it, we'll all say the one meant to the whales and to the dolphins, to the ocean itself. So let me see if I can find a picture real quick. I meant to do this. I hope I can. And I talked to you earlier about the orgone, I think, like the little pyramids and domes and things to put near your phones or by your cell phone. This is the same people that make these rods, and they have that. Okay, I have to focus for a minute here. I thought I knew where they were. Here we go. This is what the rod looks like. I think this little thing here says, yeah, it's the same. This is a scroll that's rolled up inside the rod. And this is what they call the copper cubit coil that was determined by studying Egyptology, that was used as the ascension spiral. And this is where the Herkimer diamond goes. And there's the scroll, and it's put into this rod. And then she even put the eye of Horus on the side of the rod. I don't see that here on this picture, but which is the eye of the whale, of course, the cosmic eye of the whale. Cool, huh? So I think if you want to order these for yourself, for your property, you're not allowed to put them, of course, because you don't have permission to put them on public land or on other people's land, but we have them buried in the yard here. They have them buried on their ranch, and when it snows, they only get like a part of the snow. It's really interesting. So very interesting that they makes a difference in the weather energy if you would intend that into the rods. So and again, I think the website is thealchemistchamber.com, I think so. And you can let me know if you want her phone number again, I'll put it up. But we're going to go on because there's so much to do. So I'm going to the next page, Ascension Pathways. What is Ascension? In 2010, Master Buddha Seth asked me to create a film about Ascension and allow her and the whales and dolphins to write the script. I agreed, and she gave me the template for Ascension in her own words. Note, this is the first film ever created by a master cat that shares her wisdom with the world about consciousness and the next step in our evolution as humans. So I'm going to show you two things now. You go to our products page on our website. Here's the film. It's totally, completely free. We're not printing DVDs anymore. We did thousands of them, but now we're just giving this away because it's such an important tool. So, and then if you'd like to have more detail in audio, this is the Ascension Guidance CD. And I do have CDs available, and I do have the downloads, of course. So we're going to listen to What is Ascension from the movie.
With this project, I've had an opportunity to work with Lori Rayon and Master Cat Puda. They work in sacred partnership together along with the consciousness of the whales and dolphins. Lori Rayon is an interspecies communicator, a telepathic teacher, and a soul healer. Master Cat Puda is an ascension teacher. They are the founders of the Omni-Dimensional Mystery School. They offer boat trips, retreats, workshops, and individual coaching with people to experience the whales and dolphin medicine. Lori Rayon is a collaborating author on the best-selling book, Dolphins and Whales Forever. I hope that you enjoy this film as much as I did working on it. I am so grateful that I got to work with all these talented artists that are so passionate about dolphins and whales, the ocean, and living in their sacred hearts. Love and light. Blessings. Enjoy the film.
What is ascension? Personal ascension is the unified presence of one being. Ascension is to hold and embody the highest potential for an incarnated being in full representation of the soul. Ascension is a collective field of expanded illumination, intuition, and acceptance within the self. Ascension is a shift into a higher state of consciousness
bestowed upon you by your higher self when you are ready. Ascension is remembrance of the origin of my creation and to know who I really am. Ascension is to become my divine I am presence. Ascension is to know oneself as infinite love, wisdom, and power. Ascension is merger of the highest vibration with my true multidimensional divine presence. Ascension is beyond faith. It is knowing and being oneself as Creator Source. Tools for Ascension. Living in your sacred heart.
Okay, so that basically is page 23, and it's a lot nicer to see it than it is just to read it. So thank you for doing that with me. Okay, we're going to start to talk about the third eye, the pineal gland. And let's have a volunteer, someone who'd like to read on page 24. Monica?
Activation of your third eye pineal gland. The pineal gland is located in the center of your head. It is actually an eyeball, and that is why it is referred to as the third eye. It is hollow, like an eye, and has color receptors within it. In its natural state, it is looking upward. The pineal has its own chakra and is connected to and communicates to both the brain and the heart. The pineal gland, or third eye, is the biological organ that Source has given each human to communicate with spirit. It allows for that which is known as telepathic communication, intuition, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience to become activated and useful. Your pineal gland is your own personal stargate, and it is a crystalline organ. When activated, one can be initiated in the higher realms of vision, communication, and channeling. I cannot underestimate the importance of working each day with your pineal gland. Use light and love in your meditations and quiet time to energize it, and allow it to grow and expand your consciousness. When the heart and the pineal are connected, anything is possible in my world. Your attention to your third eye is very important in your work with the cetaceans. The whales encourage us to attune the prana flow in your daily unity breath to further connect the heart to your third eye. It is important to work in meditation with a blindfold and in a darkened room. Shutting out all visible light has proven to accelerate your third eye development and further enhance your intuitive gifts. Use your intention to get comfortable rotating the third eye forward while blindfolded and focusing your inner sight. This process of moving the third eye forward with focus and intention will further activate your abilities to channel the whales and dolphins. In its natural state, it is looking upward, so you will want to get comfortable using your inner sight and moving the third eye into a forward position. Also note that our environment and your food may have contributed to the calcification of your third eye and stunted its growth. Eat organic food and bless your food before eating. We have found that drinking blessed Andara water or other crystallized water can greatly assist you in continuing to develop your pineal. Other suggestions: mix a small amount of organic sulfur in water each day. Start with half a teaspoon and gradually increase. Organicsulfur.com. This has proven to further activate and decalcify the pineal. We also recommended taking small amounts of monatomic ash daily, which is powdered Andara crystals. Ask Lori Rayon for info.
So we can stop there. I don't have any of the ash right now. I'm going to make a point of trying to get some before we start module 2. I mean, I do have some, but not enough to sell, I guess is what I'm saying. And then I've also found a better source than organic sulfur. I feel it's better quality. I mentioned it before, it's pure. Here, let me open up the chat room and I'll type it in. I've been sharing it with people.
Live Pure. LIVEPURE. That's the company.
Yeah.
And if you go Live Pure / Lori Rayon, that's her kind of like
So
the
website. There's the website. And you can get it as capsules. Like I take 3 organic sulfur capsules daily. And since I started doing that, because I would forget the powder, my sight just increases, just gets better and better. It's kind of funny too, because when I first bought the movie out on DVD, this guy bought it I think he lived in Kansas. Anyway, one day he called me and he said, "Is it normal for Master Buddha to not let everybody watch the movie?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, I put the movie on and it goes a little ways into the movie and then it stops and the whole room turns white with gold light, gold sparkling crystal. And the movie won't go anymore." And the message I'm getting from Buddha is she's working on my third eye, my pineal gland. Well, I've had that happen before. I mean, I'm in meditation and had the whole room go white, and I just consider it an angelic blessing. Usually I didn't even associate it with Buddha. It's just like happened to me several times when I lived in Mexico. And so then I said, "Well, I don't know. I think I'm going to send you another DVD." And he said, "Well, will that make the room go white too?" And I said, "I have no idea. I don't know what to tell you." So I sent him another DVD, and then he called me, I don't know, a couple of weeks later, and he said, "So a lot of my friends come over now and we take organic sulfur and then we watch Buddha's movie and we never know what's going to happen. It's different every time. The last time my group got together, the whole room turned purple." And then we asked her if we could see more of the movie, and she gave us a couple more chapters, but we still haven't seen the whole movie. So he said, "You should try taking organic sulfur." And so I got that I should. And at that time I was working with Drenvelo. Anyway, so I recommend it. It's pretty cool. It's supposed to decalcify and enhance your pineal gland. So today is the day we've designated for you to meet the white whales, so to speak, in a group collective. You'll meet them as a group, and then you'll also have an opportunity now to talk to them individually. And so there's nothing better to be able to do that than to have at least one process. There are many processes, but at least one that's going to help you connect your third eye to the whale energy, the consciousness of the white whales. Okay, so I'm going to put on some soft whale sounds, and this is what I'd like you to do for a couple of minutes. I'd like you to ground yourself, and I'm just going to walk you through it first. We're going to have our blindfolds on, and we're going to bring the energy up from the earth and bring it up the prana tube. Now remember here, the prana tube is like this big, between your thumb and your middle finger. It makes like a circle. There's a better one. And it starts wherever you set your energy down into the earth, comes up in front of the spine, and we're going to bring the energy all the way up to the heart, energize your heart, and then bring it all the way up in the prana tube to the third eye, which is located between the two halves of your brain, further to the back. And in its natural state, it's an eyeball that's looking up. So if you experience seeing up, like whatever the ceiling or whatever, you're going to want to rotate the third eye forward. So it's like a flashlight, and you're going to beam it into, in this case, we're going to do all 12 whales today. So you're going to beam it into the whale. Let's just say, for example, we summon Mobian, and then Mobian's like right here, about an arm's length away. Actually, he might just surround you too, but I mean, you're going to beam your energy right into it, and Mobian's going to send the energy back to your heart. So it goes from the earth. Okay, you want a lot of earth light when you're working with animals, more than you do when you're working with people. You bring it all the way up to the heart, up, up, up. And I kind of like to see, you know, one of those big fountains that's shooting water. And at the top, it's like exploding water, you know, and think of the third eye bouncing around on top of the fountain. That's kind of what I like to see myself really just flooding it, you know, with love and light. Of course, it's not water, it's prana, but you get the idea of the fountain. That's what I like to do. Okay, then I rotate the third eye forward, and as soon as I do, everything changes because I'm already a seer and I see all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to summon the whale. You're going to beam it into the whale. The whale comes back to the heart. So here's the triangle. Okay, heart to third eye to the whale, back to your heart to the third eye to the whale. So the triangle's on its side. And once you've triangulated and the energy's flowing, you should have some amazing experiences. And we're going to be asking the whale some questions, and the whale's, of course, going to give you a message. And there's going to be a lot of journaling. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get ready, get some water, get a notepad with a lot of paper, because you might just take all kinds of notes you don't even know. And you're going to want to keep those notes and then transfer at least some of them to the form I'm going to give you in the assignment today, that you'll be sending those back to us. But the whale's intention is to meet you, really to know you, and for you to know them. So I'm going to share the screen. While you're getting ready, get your blindfold.
Are we laying down or sitting up?
Sitting up. Okay, come on. Okay. Trying to get, there we go. I had to get the movie off. So we're not starting this exercise yet, but I want to show it to you. So when we do start, we can keep going. And if you need to get up and do anything, use the restroom, do it now, because we're going to, once we start, we're going to go all the way through. So it'll be at least an hour without any breaks. And during that time, I'll talk very little because I want us to be in the channeling mode. Okay. So once we start, you'll say to the whale, and again, the first whale is Mobian. What do you want me to know about you? And I know you don't have this form yet, so just write Mobian at the top of your sheet. And you might want to just write down these 3 questions, because we'll ask these 3 questions of all of the whales, each individually. What do you want me to know about you? How will I recognize you? What can you share with me about me? What do they want to tell you? Now, don't get too picky with this, how will I recognize you? If you don't get anything, just keep going. An example would be if you say to the class today, how would I, and you've never met me, how would I recognize Lori Rion? Someone might say, well, she's got long blonde hair. She's about 5'8". She's overweight. She's a big girl. You know, I don't know what you would say. She's got blue eyes. I mean, you might say a bunch of things about how would you recognize me? So the whales are all big, they're all white, and they, you know, I'm not sure what they'll say to you. One of them might say to me, I'll tickle you, or I'll tell you a joke, or, you know, I don't know. So anyway, don't give this as much attention as the other 2 questions, because you're, over time, you're going to learn, you already are, when you're doing the sessions, basically who the white whale is. And I want to go over another form. So anyway, this is the thing. We'll be going through the form like this. And I'll be sending this to you so that you can fill it out. And this is part of your homework for, in 2 weeks, you'll be turning this in. And you'll have the form so you can continue to work with them. I mean, I don't think you're going to get everything in the first hour today, but you should get something. And you should make an acquaintance with them, okay?
What are the 3 questions again? I missed one of them.
It's right on the, can you not see it on the screen?
No,
Oh,
you don't, you're
okay.
not sharing.
No,
Oh,
we
thanks for
can't.
telling me. See, that's what we need, input. Okay. Okay, somehow we got lost there. Okay, share screen. So when we did the Ascension Guidance movie, could you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, now can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So first question, what do you want me to know about you? So they tell you something personal about them. How will I recognize you? And again, do the best you can with that, but don't get stuck there. What can you share with me about me? So I mean, I've had him say all kinds of things. You know, I'm really grateful that, you know, you have taken on the task of doing whale healing. And I'm really glad you listen to the cats when they talk to you because they have wisdom, you know, things like that, whatever they want to say to you. And then again, this is the actual form you're going to have. Right now, you're making your own form. Okay. Any questions about this?
Lori, so we have our mask on the whole time and we're just kind of free riding, basically.
Well, you're going to have your mask on maybe for 30 seconds to a minute until you feel you've made contact. But before we do it, we're just going to do a pineal exercise. And then the pineal exercise I'll say is over and we're going to start the introductions to the whales now. So you're going to obviously need to take your blindfold off to start riding. But I would put my blindfold on when I call out the name of the whale for a little bit until you feel that contact and you start the process of triangulation with that whale. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay.
Lori, can you put the questions again, please?
Can I put them back up?
Yes, please.
Uh-huh. Can you see them?
Yes, I can. Thank you so much.
Sure. Okay, so I just realized too, there's one more thing I want to do. It's not related to this form, but I wanted to do it in the beginning and I forgot. So there's some confusion, and I don't know why, but there is, about filling out this form. This is really important, you guys. Okay, so there are people that are not completing, they're sending in the form, but it's not complete. So I'm not sure what to do. If I ask you to send it incomplete and you still don't do that, I don't know what to do. I don't want to fail you because you're sending it in, but you're not giving us the information. Okay. So for an example, the last 2 weeks you were to work with your partner. So this is where your partner's name would go, where it says client. Okay. Then here you circle light body activation. Some of you are circling whale healing and clearing over and over and over again. You're only to do one of those last week, and that was with a friend or a family member. Okay, but yeah, you circled this like 3 times and then you put your partner's name here. So, and we emailed you back, some of you, and you still didn't respond. So I'm going to give you till Monday morning to complete these forms. That you have to look at your email and see if you're not completing the form right, you're not reading. And that's, I'm sorry, that's just not appropriate. We need your attention to detail. Obviously, the how paid and the date paid is not applicable. The time frame is. It should be 90 minutes or more. And I don't mean a lot more, but I mean, sometimes it goes over 90 minutes a little bit. The light body activation template is the number of the template. Last time you did number 1, physical body, and number 8, I think, manifestation. There was a typo where it originally said number 6. I sent everybody an email and I apologized for that. So you should have had one form for number 1 and one form for number 8. And then if you record, that's optional, but please tell us that you did or you didn't record. The PowerPoint used is number 1 or number 2, and today it will be number 3 will be an option. So you shouldn't just write the word yes. You should have the number of the PowerPoint. Where it says music used, I've given you the music to use for each of the templates. Some of you just wrote yes. Well, what music is yes? You didn't write the names of the songs that you used. And so again, we're asking you to prepare for the real world and to pay attention to detail and then respond, okay? A lot of you put Bella or Humphrey for light body activations. Okay, so you obviously didn't either come to class or watch the replay, because our class last week after the manual was we worked on light body activations. We introduced you to the white whales and we told you that one of the white whales would speak or come to you to give you a closing message at the end. Those whales are not Bella and Humphrey. Those are earth whales. They work with whale healing and clearing. The light body activations are done by the white whales. Again, I don't know how you could have taken the class and not known that, but I don't want to be condescending. I just want to say, please pay attention. Okay? Because if you don't get this now, I'm not sure when you will get it, you'll keep doing it wrong. Also, a lot of you never put any messages in that you got, or you just put 1 or 2 words. Okay, so today's exercise should help that. Then in your manual, you have closing message notes. There are 6 of them. I can even tell you what page they're on now. It's on your assignment form. It's on page 57 and 58. So you should write not the whole message out, but you should write, I use number 2 or I use number 4 to complete the form. Okay. So I just want to say in a very nice voice, we're not going to allow incomplete forms anymore. It's really, you know, you're not in kindergarten. We shouldn't have to keep sending them back to you to say, fill out the form properly. Okay. Any questions about that?
Lori, I do have a question, not about the form, but you know how we have 12 templates? If
Yes.
you do the 12 templates to one person, are you going to keep on doing PowerPoint number 2 each session?
No.
Okay.
But we haven't gotten to that teaching yet, so I can't
I know,
explain.
I'm sorry. I just, that question came up when I was.
No, you'll get to the point where you'll just use the, go to your manual and turn to page 55. 56, you'll be using that more. Affirmations will still be done, but you won't have to bring up the PowerPoint. You'll ask them to say it out loud.
Okay.
Without the PowerPoint.
Okay.
And some people will want the PowerPoint. Some people want to see the pictures of the whales. It helps them connect. So when somebody's on like maybe session 5 or 6 with me, I'll say to you, I'm thinking of like Diane. I've done a lot of sessions with her, Scarlett, different people. I won't necessarily use the PowerPoint every time.
Okay.
But I'll ask them, do you want me to use the PowerPoint? Because sometimes they do.
Yeah, exactly. Because what I noticed, I work with Jan for these past weeks. And what I noticed that I would do immediately while I was working with her on template 8, I was like, okay, as we did last time, maybe you remember this slide, and do you remember what I said about it? And I would check on some points, and then that's when the question came up for me. And I was like, if I do this to the 12 templates to just one person, would I do it every time? You know, that's why I'm.
Also today, you're going to be using PowerPoint number 3.
Yeah.
And you haven't seen that yet, at least not from me.
Yeah.
And the main reason for PowerPoint number 3 is I'm starting to introduce you to their cosmic personalities now and their cosmic names. And the longer I teach the school, the more information comes through. So I'll be making more supplemental pages where when we summon Mobian, we will say Mobian of the system Orion, from Mintaka, from, you know, universe of the Tao universe, or I mean, the whale will say more about themselves. But today in PowerPoint number 3, you're learning their cosmic names. And at that point, you probably won't use their Lakota names anymore because that was a coding that was used back in 2011, which isn't applicable anymore.
Okay, perfect.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's like when I was born, my name was Laurel Jean Harberts. Well, I changed my name to Lori. It's not Laurel anymore. I don't use my middle name anymore. I use my spiritual name, Rian. You see what I mean? It evolves, it changes to the present time, to what we're doing now. So the names that you're going to use now are going to be in PowerPoint number 3, and they're also going to be in the meet and greet, which we're doing now today. Okay.
Lori, I wanted to know if Mobian was the young calf that was born about a year and a half ago, or was that Mobian?
I don't know. Why don't we all ask?
Maybe it was 3 years ago. I'm not sure.
So what is your actual question?
Is the white calf that I have a picture of, is that Mobian?
No.
No.
So to my knowledge, none of the white whales have been born.
Hmm.
To my knowledge, they all walked in as adults.
Oh.
But you know,
I have a
can't prove it.
picture of a little baby.
Where'd you get it?
A teacher of mine gave it to me. I
And
can,
is it a humpback whale?
yeah,
I'd like to see it. Yeah, send it to me,
I'll,
okay?
I'll send it to you.
Cool. Okay, so is everybody ready? You have your blindfold, you have the idea now of triangulation with your third eye. You're working with your third eye. You're gonna rotate it forward. You're gonna beam it into. Let's use Bella right now, just as an exercise. Okay, not gonna write anything down. No meet and greet. You're just gonna triangulate. Start to run the energy. Start to feel the connection. Okay. All right. Put your blindfolds on. Ground yourself. Now direct the energy that's coming from the earth up to your heart, up to your third eye, and energize it with the earth light, with the prana. Rotate the third eye forward, and let's beam it into Bella. Begin to receive energy back from Bella right into your heart. Immediately run the energy from your heart back up to the third eye until you can establish a flow of prana now. Continue to triangulate. Allow the energy to build and become stronger, more concentrated. Okay, come back. Just for a moment, want to see if there's any questions before we start now the process with all 12 whales. You're going to have 5 minutes with each whale, which is quite a while to write and to feel. when you first put your blindfold on, you start the triangulation. It's up to you when you take it off and start writing. We're not going to guide you because each person's different. Okay.
Lori?
When the 5 minutes is up for each whale, I'll say, come back, and I'll say, we're now introducing the next whale, and so forth. Okay. So I would start another page or something. I mean, to keep your notes separate for each whale.
Lori?
Yes.
When you say triangulation, and this was really fun, by the way, I imagined a white whale, and then I heard, no, I'm a humpback whale. So the triangulation, what happened for me is that I went into my heart, and it kept going around in a circle from my heart to my third eye to my heart. So when you said triangulation, I kept going back down to Mother Earth and coming back up. So can you re-explain the triangulation when we're connecting?
Right. Okay. So once you've connected to the earth and you're grounded and you're receiving the prana from the earth, you build it in your heart. Okay. And then you run it through the prana tube up to the third eye. Like I said, like a water fountain, energize the third eye. That's what we just did. Then you rotate the third eye forward like a flashlight and you beam it into the whale. Okay. And then the whale will beam energy back to your heart. So do it with me. Touch your heart. Touch your third eye. Reach out and touch the whale. Touch your heart. Touch your third eye. Touch the whale. You see the triangle? 1, 2. The whale is the point of the triangle.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what was happening, but it felt more like a circle. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? You all set? Okay, so say in your own way now, your own personal prayer. I seek to connect with the Great White Whale Council. I'd like to meet you one by one today. I'm very open to receive. I'm activating my telepathic abilities. Please help me enhance them. I wish to hear you clearly. I mean, say something now, and I'm settling in. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do the whole hour or whatever it takes to meet all 12 of you. And then after that, we'll take our lunch break, okay? All right. I'm going to put on a little bit different music because it's going to be softer. It's actually from the Monroe Institute called Into the Deep, so it won't be maybe as distracting.
And so once we have seen every whale, then we can take the blindfold off and connect and ask the questions? Are we staying in meditation for 12?
When I'm connecting to someone telepathically, I like the blindfold. It's not required, but I like it. I'm just giving you my best effort. Once the information starts coming in, you're going to have to take your blindfold off so you can write. Then put it back on when the next whale comes in, okay?
I'm sorry. And in my experience, I was not able to listen to your voice clearly while playing the music right now. I don't know if it was just my experience or everyone else's. I just wanted to let you know about that.
Okay, so do you understand the triangulation?
Yeah. I mean, when we were doing the channeling with Bella or the triangulation, and you had the Wells music and you were speaking, I was not able to listen to your voice.
Okay. Well, what we were doing is triangulating with Bella.
Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to make that clear in order that we're starting to do these exercises. So I just wanted to let you know in case that was someone else's experience.
So I'm going to use different music now too, softer, and I'm not going to be speaking. You have the instructions. Only time I'm going to speak now is to introduce the whale.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
And to cut it off in 5 minutes and so forth, okay? All right, here we go. Please welcome Mobian. Please come back. Clear the screen, so to speak. Refresh. Please welcome Tristel, the great white whale. Okay, please come back. Yeah. Wipe the screen. Clean. And prepare now to welcome Tristel, the great white whale.
We just did Tristel, Lori.
We did?
Yes.
So I'm sorry. It's right on the screen in front of me. Thank you so much. Please welcome Agoron. I'm gonna pay better attention. Welcome the great white whale, Agoron. Sorry, Tristel.
Siri. Spell nomenclature.
Okay, I found this on the web for spell no nomenclature.
Hey Siri. Spell nomenclature.
Okay, I found this on the web for spell nomenclature. Check it out.
I'm gonna have to mute your rooms if you don't do it yourself. You can hear somebody talking and background noise. Please mute your room. You should be in meditation. Thank you. Okay, please come back. Refresh your energy. And please welcome Lavani L, the great white whale. Please come back. Take some deep breaths and refresh your energy. Please welcome the great white whale, Sierra. Please come back. Refresh your energy. Take some deep breaths. We summon now the energy of Raphael, the great white whale. please come back. Once again, refresh your energy. Take some cleansing breaths. We summon the energy of the great white whale treasurer. Okay, please come back. Refresh and center your energy. Deep breath. Please welcome the great white whale and Dolphin. come back. Just make sure your rooms are muted. I can hear some background noise. Please mute your rooms. Thank you. Please welcome the great white whale, Hathorion. come back. Refresh your energy. Please welcome the great white whale, Ki'ikoa. Please come back, everyone. Refresh your energy. Take a deep breath. Welcome the great white whale, Kim Tom. Again, we're hearing background noise, so please mute your room.
Oh my God, how does that happen?
I'm hearing talking in the background, so everyone please mute your room. Thank you. everyone, please come back. Refresh your energy. And please now welcome the great white whale Sun-Ra. Okay, please come back. Refresh your energy as we have one more very important whale. Please now welcome the mother white whale, Watakiti. Hey, everyone, please come back. Thank you so much for doing this exercise. I know it's going to help you so much to stay connected and get to know these incredible beings. We're going to take our lunch break now so you can refresh. Let's come back at 2 p.m. Pacific time, ready for light body activations. Bye for now.